hardest it's rained all day. Okay, that's enough.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered together this day to celebrate the joining together of Shelley and Bridget in the sacred bond of matrimony. Marriage is a relationship that embodies all of the warm and precious values which grow from human companionship and love. We enter it joyfully and in the knowledge that love is both our highest achievement and life's most precious gift. Marriage is not to be entered into lightly or unadvisedly, but thoughtfully, reverently, and with deep commitment. Today's celebration is an outward sign of a sacred and inward commitment, which churches may consecrate and states may legalize, but which neither can create. Such a union can only be created by loving purpose, be maintained by abiding goodwill, and be renewed by human intentions and commitment. These intentions and feelings are able to grow so much stronger over time with the support of family and friends. All of you here today share in the process that has made this commitment possible, and the bride and groom are grateful to you all. Into this estate now come Shelley and Bridget to join themselves in marriage. The promise is made today, and the ties that are bound here greatly strengthen your union. They will cross the years and lives of each soul's growth. In ancient times in Europe, when a man and woman agreed to marry, they would hold a ceremony called a hand fasting. This ceremony was a symbolic binding that came before the marriage and was meant to convey their commitment to wed at a future time. The bride and groom have decided to enter into this old ceremony since it captures so much of what they want to say to each other this day. This ceremony will be accomplished using the Henderson tartan, which signifies the ancestral ties of the mother of the groom. Shelley and Bridget, do you seek to enter into the commitment to marry?
Yes, we seek to enter.
In times past, it was believed that the human soul shared characteristics with all things divine. It is in this wisdom tradition that we bless this couple. Blessed be this union with communication of the heart, mind, and body, fresh beginnings with each rising of the sun, and the knowledge of that growth found in the sharing of silences. Blessed be this union with the gifts of the warmth of hearth and home, the heat of the heart's passion, the light created by both, to lighten the darkest of times. Blessed be this union with the gifts of a beautiful and bountiful nature, which brings us nourishment for our bodies and food for our souls. Blessed be this union with the gifts of a firm foundation on which to build, prosperity, and a stable home to which you may always return. All these blessings are only tools which you must use together in order to create what you seek in this union. I now invite Mrs. Sandy Moss, mother of the groom, to come forward with the tartan. Shelley and Bridget, I ask you to look into each other's eyes and join your right hands. Shelley, is it possible you may cause her pain?
Amen.
Is that your intent? Bridget, is it possible you may cause him pain? Is that your intent? Shelley and Bridget, will you share each other's pain and seek to ease it? And so the binding is made. Bridget, will you share his laughter?
Yes.
Shelley, will you share her laughter?
Yes.
Shelley and Bridget, will both of you look for the brightness in life and the positive in each other? And so the binding is made. Bridget, is it possible you may burden him? Is that your intent? Shelley, is it possible you may burden her?
Amen.
Is that your intent? Shelley and Bridget, will you share the burdens of each so that your spirits may grow in this union?
Yes.
And so the binding is made. Bridget, will you share his dreams? Shelley, will you share her dreams? Shelley and Bridget, will you dream together to create new realities and hopes?
Yes.
And so the binding is made. Shelley, is it possible you may cause her anger? Is that your intent?
Yeah.
Bridget, is it possible you may cause him anger? Is that your intent? Shelley and Bridget, will you take the heat of anger and use it to temper the strength of this union?
Yes.
And so the binding is made. Bridget, will you honor him? Shelley, will you honor her?
Yes.
Shelley and Bridget, will you seek to never give cause to break that honor? And so the binding is made. The binding together of your future is not made by this cloth, but instead by your vows. Either of you may drop the binding, for, as always, you hold in your own hands the making or breaking of this union. Thus, the commitment to marry is made, and now we will enter into the act of marriage. Shelley and Bridget, have you come here freely and with joy in your hearts to join together as partners in marriage? Do all of you who represent Shelley and Bridget's families and friends rejoice in their union and give your added blessing to them? If so, say, we do.
We do.
Mr. Richard Moss will now present the first reading.
This is a poem about marriage by the Lebanese poet Gibran. You were born together, and together you shall be forevermore. You shall be together when white wings of death scatter your days. Aye, you shall be together even in the silent memory of God. But let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you. Love one another, but make not a bind of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls. Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup. Give one another of your bread, but eat not from the same loaf. Sing and dance together, and be joyous, but let each one of you be alone. Even as the strings of a lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping, for only the hand of life can contain your hearts. And stand together, yet not too near together. For the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow.
Shelley, will you take Bridget's hands and repeat these vows of commitment to her? Bridget, I promise to express my love for you
Bridget, I promise to express my love for
in all ways possible,
you in all ways possible.
to share in your happiness and in your sadness,
To share in your happiness and your sadness,
and to let you share in my own.
and to let you share in my own.
I promise to support you and comfort you,
I promise to support you and
to trust you and to deserve your trust.
to trust you and to deserve your trust.
I promise to respect and care for you,
I promise to respect and care for you,
to continue to learn and grow with you.
to continue to learn and grow with you.
I promise never to wonder about your abilities or your commitment to me.
I promise never to wonder about your abilities or your commitment to me.
I promise to value your convictions as if they were my own.
I promise to value your convictions as if they were mine.
I promise that with my heart, mind, and body,
I promise that with my heart, mind, and body,
I will honor and cherish you all the days of my life.